News at 6:30 starts now.
And now at 6:30, a chilly night around Chicagoland. It's about to get even colder this week. Greg Dutrick tracking when temperatures could drop to the single digits.
Protecting access to vaccines, Governor Pritzker signing a law he says protects the health of Illinois residents.
And we'll look at a new push to regulate hemp products instead of banning them altogether in Chicago. But once again, we are starting with our weather.
Yeah, more snow could hit tomorrow, followed by the bitter cold. So let's get directly to Greg Dutra to talk about it as we take a look at our favorite live picture outside Navy Pier. You can't really tell how cold it's going to be and how cold it is by looking at that gorgeousness.
Yeah,
but it's 19.
Good from here, Greg. We like to watch from here.
Yeah,
we do. We do, and I just realized I put on the wrong color jacket, so this will be changed in just a couple of minutes. It's mismatched. I grabbed the wrong one. I just was like blue, bam. Anyway,
outfits. It'll be a multi-outfit
you are
show.
A fashionista.
We are doing wardrobe changes. Yeah, but no, you're absolutely right. Earlier when I was looking at that camera view, you could definitely tell it was cold because steam from the building was going in front of the camera lens. Now, not the case here, as we are mainly clear, yes, and down a few degrees, and it is going to be another chilly night. I mean, we are sitting in the upper teens to about 20 degrees. Now, that's basically where our low temperatures will go for tonight. They're not going to slide too much. Again, right now, 19 at O'Hare, 20 degrees in Aurora. And the wind chills are anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees at this point, above zero, thankfully, but that may change as we get into the extended forecast. You guys hit the nail right on the head. Look at Wednesday's afternoon high. We hit 33, the warmest that we've been so far this week, but then the low after a cold front gets down into the single digits, not only late Wednesday night, early Thursday, but again late Thursday night and early Friday with wind chills that'll likely be down below zero as those gusts get up to about 20 or so miles per hour. Also tracking, as you see, a couple chances for snowfall. I'll show you exactly who gets the snow and whether or not it's just a prettying up snow or a snow plowing snow coming up in just a bit, Rob.
Can't wait to see the new outfit. See you in a few minutes. You can track the next blast of winter weather on our free ABC 7 Chicago News app. Just scan that QR code on your screen. You can get a link to download.
A landmark bill to protect and expand vaccine access in Illinois. Governor J.B. Pritzker signing the legislation into law today in direct response to new directives from the Trump administration. ABC 7's Karen Jordan explains what it means for you.
The bill signed by Governor Pritzker safeguards vaccine access for millions of Illinois residents at a time when state leaders say the federal government has rolled back vaccine policies nationwide. In a new law signed by Governor J.B. Pritzker, Illinois public health officials now have more authority to set the state's own vaccine guidelines, a measure, Pritzker says, to undo the damage done by vaccine skeptics in the Trump administration.
While RFK Jr. and his QAnon-inspired colleagues spreading conspiracy theories and dangerous misinformation about vaccines are running around Washington, Illinois is stepping up to protect the health of our people.
The law builds on an executive order Pritzker issued in September that calls for the newly formed Illinois Immunization Advisory Committee to issue vaccine guidance. The bill, co-sponsored by State Representative Bob Morgan, who says public health decisions should be guided by science, not politics.
HB 767 provides stability at a time where conspiracy theorists have gained influence over our national politics and public health decisions.
A key provision of the bill also lowers the minimum age from 7 to 3 for children to receive some vaccines at pharmacies, including flu and COVID-19 shots.
This change will allow more families to conveniently protect their young ones.
Dr. Ravi Javeri, a children's infectious disease specialist at Lurie Children's Hospital, says the bill is an important step at a time when vaccine messaging has left some doctors confused.
What was once a unified national vaccine recommendation framework is now being fragmented to state by state or collections of states that are trying to do the best they can.
While state leaders and medical experts applaud this bill, they say they will continue the fight to make sure Illinois residents have the information and medical care they need. Karen Jordan, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Karen, thank you. A hemp ban in Chicago. A Chicago City Council committee is expected to consider a bill tomorrow to ban hemp products in Chicago unless sold by a dispensary. A group of hemp product manufacturers, retailers, and others gathered today to talk about this. A ban was proposed by 13th Ward Alderman Marty Quinn, but even Mayor Johnson's office is against it.
We are not asking for a free-for-all. We are asking for common sense regulation, not prohibition, because prohibition never works.
No, we do not support a citywide ban. This is a big industry that many business owners, breweries rely on.
The mayor's office says it has put forth plans to regulate hemp products. Right now, hemp product bans exist only in certain wards. The mayor's office says ward-level bans are going through the court process now.
AS McKinley Community Services is celebrating the completion of its expansion project. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held this morning for the grand opening of the facility in Inglewood. The expansion includes establishing Youth Crisis Stabilization Center. It will serve children experiencing mental health distress. Cook County invested nearly $1 million into this project.
Far too long, our young people in crisis, particularly on the south and west sides, have been forced into a narrow and unacceptable system of choices. Hospitalization or involvement in our criminal justice system. That's where often young people in crisis end up, in one of those two places. This new crisis stabilization unit offers something fundamentally different: trauma-informed care, developmentally appropriate and community-rooted.
AS McKinley provides early learning, educational, and foster care programs, as well as supporting for seniors. Well, it is a day to push the pause button on all of your holiday shopping rush and instead give back to your community.
Yeah, today's Giving Tuesday, a global showing of generosity where you can give your money, time, or talent to help others. John Garcia talks to some organizations who are benefiting from the kindness of others.
Giving Tuesday has become the single largest day of charitable giving in the entire world. Last year, raising nearly $4 billion for thousands of charities, including Gigi's Playhouse.
All right, good job.
Math tutoring is one of the many services Gigi's Playhouse offers to those with Down syndrome. The charity has been around for 23 years, since its namesake, Gigi Gianni, was born with Down syndrome.
We give them programs, literacy, speech, teach to fit.
Gigi's now serves some 35,000 clients in locations around the world, and they charge those families nothing for the services. Isaiah Marrero and his family come from East Dundee.
All the programs are all run 100% on donations, so it has really helped families like ours.
Because they are dependent on donations, Giving Tuesday is a huge day for charities like Gigi's, especially this year.
This was a year with 17% growth in families served and everything that we're doing, but we've had a deficit in our fundraising. So it's more important to us this year than any other year that we've been here.
Financial pressures this year, thanks to inflation, are an issue for charities around the country. United Way volunteers were packing food kits this morning. They say the need for help in the form of donations on this Giving Tuesday is more important than ever.
Just over the last couple of months, I think we've seen people struggling in a way that I haven't seen before.
And experts say all the charitable giving also draws phony charities.
The Better Business Bureau recommends that you deal with a charity that you know and trust and have done some background check on.
Adding to the impact of Giving Tuesday, many charities have donors who are offering to match gifts, doubling the impact. For instance, here at Gigi's, they have a donor who is offering to match the first $30,000 they raise. In Hoffman Estates, John Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
John, thank you. New accounts to help American kids invest. Who's eligible and how it's all being paid for.
One city becomes the first to sue the makers of junk food.
We'll look at the new designation for the Pope's childhood home in the suburbs.
The man accused of shooting 2 National Guard members in Washington, D.C. is being held without bond. Ramanula Lakhanwal appeared in court virtually from his hospital bed today. He is formally charged with murder, assault with the intent to kill, and possession of a firearm. The Afghan national pled not guilty through an interpreter. Lakhanwal is accused of killing Sarah Bergstrom and critically injuring Andrew Wolf in last week's shooting. Lakhanwal remains in the hospital after being shot by another National Guard member. A high-stakes meeting in Moscow today as Russian President Vladimir Putin is sitting down with U.S. negotiators. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, the president's son-in-law, are pushing to get Putin to agree to end the war in Ukraine. Before the meeting, Putin accused European nations of trying to block a peace deal proposed by President Trump. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was in Ireland today, the country announcing additional funding to support Ukraine's fight against Russia.
President Trump announces 2 new investment accounts for America's kids.
ABC's Melissa Adon is live tonight with details, who is eligible, and the historic donation helping fund some of those accounts. Melissa.
Cheryl, Rob, so the $1,000 Trump accounts have become now the property of a child's guardian. And these accounts will track a stock index and allow for additional private contributions of up to $5,000 a year. At the White House today, the president announcing a new kind of investment for the future.
This will give millions of dollars, millions of children, middle-class families a stake in American prosperity, a benefit from the rising stock market, and a better shot at the American dream.
The new so-called Trump accounts are a key part of President Trump's signature tax and spending legislation passed earlier this year. They start with a $1,000 deposit from the Treasury Department into accounts for children born January 1st of this year through 2028. When they turn 18, they can withdraw the money to put towards their education, a home, or a business. The White House says the funds must be invested in an index fund that tracks the stock market, and accounts for some of their kids are getting a $1 billion boost.
We all understand the incredible impact that a gift like this can have on the lives of young Americans.
The billionaires behind Dell Technologies, Michael and Susan Dell, today making the biggest single private commitment made to U.S. children. Michael and Susan Dell donating $6.25 billion to 25 million children 10 and younger, giving them $250 each. The Dell donation will go into savings accounts for kids who live in zip codes with a median family income of $150,000 or less and who don't qualify for the $1,000 federal newborn accounts.
We believe that when children have a future that they can see is worth saving for, then that will help build hope and opportunity and prosperity.
Now, there are still some logistical questions about the donations, but according to Invest America signups, the accounts are expected to open up by next summer. In Los Angeles, I'm Melissa Adon, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Okay, Melissa, thanks for the live report tonight. Well, San Francisco becomes the first city to sue food manufacturers over ultra-processed foods. The city is suing 10 corporations that make some of the country's most popular food and drinks. The attorney argues that cities and counties have been burdened with the costs of treating diseases stemming from the company's products.
Like the tobacco industry, they knew their products make people very sick, but hid the truth from the public, profited from untold billions, and left Americans to deal with the consequences.
Ultra-processed products now comprise 70% of the American food supply. Well, coming up, the Pope's home sweet home in Dalton is getting a special designation.
Tips, tricks, and deals. The I-Team helping you make traveling this holiday season go more smoothly.
Another round of snow and a blast of frigid air on the way. What color's Greg's jacket? He's got an updated look at your AccuWeather forecast.
This
next.
is a first for us on the
Big
streaming.
Big
I
one.
mean, you know, wardrobing and Millions of Americans are preparing, of course, to fly and travel for the holidays. Well, tonight, the I-Team has some really important information and lets you know what you can look out for when you're traveling so it won't be a nightmare, and you can score some last-minute deals as well.
Consumer investigator Jason Knowles has the tips and the warnings. Jason?
Experts say, as always, there's a chance for delays, cancellations, or problems. One reason is a long-running shortage of air traffic controllers and, of course, the weather. But there are ways to avoid a holiday travel nightmare and still snag a decent deal. There's still time to buy and save.
There is still time to buy, but we want people to take advantage of the fact that now is the time to buy. We're coming into that sort of last final blip. Unfortunately, flight prices don't work the same way that retail does, where you see the bargain bins come out and flight prices just magically drop the day or two before you're looking to travel.
Travel expert Katie Nastro from Going says you should be buying those holiday flights within a 21-day window at the very latest, and there's one trick that could save you a significant amount.
You can save between 15 and 30% by targeting the holiday itself versus a day or two before or after.
But be prepared for delays.
A lot of travelers don't realize that we've actually been understaffed in the way of air traffic controllers for the past decade.
And there's weather. If you're hit with a significant delay and you choose to not get rebooked, you do have the right to a refund on your form of payment, or you can get an airline credit. To prevent a domino of delays and disruptions, you should strategically schedule or rebook existing tickets.
Try to target early morning flights, 6, 7, 8 a.m. Those flights actually have a higher on-time arrival rate versus an afternoon or an evening flight when delays can start to pile up.
You'll also want a non-stop flight.
When you target a non-stop flight, if you get delayed, you just get to your destination a little bit later. When you get delayed with a connecting flight, you run the risk of then not making your connection, and so it can snowball into a much greater impact on your overall trip.
And don't forget, your ticket type matters.
By booking a main economy ticket versus a basic economy ticket. Main economy tickets, you're able to make changes or outrightly cancel your ticket for a credit to use in the future.
And another tip to save if you're still booking, since New Year's Day is on a Thursday, you can also save by extending your travels through the weekend and the following week. You could consider a flight back on Tuesday, January 6th or Wednesday, January 7th to get some good deals. Jason Knowles, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Jason, thank you. Right out of Thanksgiving, and here we are talking about the holidays.
Look at that. Monica got that. Our director, Monica, went
O'Hare.
straight to O'Hare,
Yeah.
because that's where the flights are going to be going in and out, and you got the holiday lights, the trees.
Yeah.
Did you drive up there, by the way? Because the trees are already decorated. They're gorgeous.
Oh, they
when you
are?
pull up.
No.
Yeah, it's so pretty when you drive up and pick up people.
Help the people who sat there for delays as they were
Yeah.
trying to
Oh,
pick their
you
loved
think
ones
that
up.
works?
That was it. Yeah, right. Holiday spirit.
Yeah, that's true.
So now we're done with this, most of the snow. Nothing like we saw the past few days, but the cold, the brutal cold,
1-2
Greg,
punch.
sticking around for a bit, huh?
It is, and I spent a solid chunk of my day trying to correlate early November snowfall with cold winters. The good news is I couldn't. I couldn't find the data that would suggest that, snowfall early or big snowfall in November would equal a cold winter. Some of them actually turned out to be mild winters. So, yeah, who knows? It's still a flip of a coin. If you knew exactly what was going to happen each winter, you would be a gajillionaire. You'd have that Dell dude type money. 24 degrees as our high temperature here for today, low in the teens, both yesterday morning to start and early this morning too. Our high temperature, of course, well below that average. That's why I spent so long today trying to find that data connection, which to no avail showed itself. In terms of temperatures through the next few days, they are going to go down even more. We've already lost some degrees over the last 24 hours, 5 to about 10 degrees across most of the viewing area, really concentrated closer to the lake. And we saw some hints of sunshine occasionally today, but now we are mostly cloudy skies, a temperature running in the teens, winds out of the southwest, making that feels like temperatures sit in the single digits. Our satellite and radar for now showing that we've got some clear skies here through Kankakee and Will counties, but it's not widespread clearing, nor was it expected to be. We'll stay under the clouds tonight, and that'll help hold our low temperatures in check. But there is another batch of cold air You can kind of see it here. Really super cold stuff up across northern Hudson Bay that will dive south with a cold front soon. Right now, though, we're waiting for the stage to clear a little bit. Taking up some of the air in the room is the system across the northeast. It's brought snow just about all day. Still some snow to go for coastal and down East Maine. They'll see another 2-3 inches out of this as that system moves away. And again, waiting in the wings for that system to clear the east coast will be our cold front sliding on in during the afternoon of tomorrow and taking our temperature, which will hit about freezing before lunchtime, and turning it into 20s very quickly, into teens, and then eventually single digits early on Thursday morning. Now, there are nice clear skies, but also very crisp northerly winds for not only Thursday afternoon, which has only a high temperature in the teens, but also early Friday morning. I think Friday morning could be our coldest. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some, 1, 2, or 3 degree temperatures, as in just the air temp, to start off the morning on Friday morning. Thursday morning, pretty cold when you factor in the wind chill, 5 to about 15 degrees below zero. It stays like that for just about the entirety of our Thursday afternoon. And as mentioned, it'll be almost 15 to 20 degrees below zero as you head late Thursday night and into early Friday morning. And as you're going out the door Friday, still kind of about 15 to 20 degrees below zero, depending on where you look. In the meantime, this feels relatively warm, I guess, in comparison. About 20, 23 degrees will be our low temperature tonight. Some will be in the upper teens to around 20s. Basically where the temperatures are at the bottom of your screen right now. It's almost a flat line. And then as we look really far ahead, like I said, I tried to find that correlation in the numbers going back a few years. Couldn't, but the reality looks us in the face here of a string, 10 days in a row of below normal high temperatures, of course, including every day in the 7-day forecast, with a couple of additional chances for snow. Although all these rounds of snow will be mostly just kind of prettying stuff up.
Yeah, right.
Not big dumps.
To cold us over the 3 and the 4 degree that we said we had to pretend oh, it's not really cold, it's pretty.
Because the last thing you want is it to be 4 and the snow to look dingy. So at least we're fixing something here.
Thanks, Greg.
This is the man who changes clothes.
Silver lining, yes, exactly.
All right, well, you can always get the latest forecast anytime with the free ABC 7 Chicago News app. Just scan that QR code right there on your screen for a link so you can download and find out what's happening right down to your very own neighborhood.
Well, the childhood home of Pope Leo in South Suburban Dolton has been formally designated a historical landmark. Adult Mayor Jason House and the Village Board of Trustees now recognizing this property at 212 East 141st Place as a site of special historical significance. The Pope-born Robert Francis Prevost spent his formative years in the home from childhood until 1969. Dolton says the home is so popular with visitors, it now requires daily crowd management from its police department. We knew this was coming the day he became Pope.
That is wonderful. All right, let's talk about something really special, too. A very special moment for twin sisters in life and career, and it is making Chicago proud. The police chief of Evanston helping her twin become the police chief of Beloit, Wisconsin. Evanston Chief Shanita Stewart pinned her sister with her badge during a ceremony last night on the Beloit College campus. Now, Shanella Stewart now becoming the first woman chief of the Beloit Police Department. Now, her sister Shanita has been police chief in Evanston since 2022. The sisters are 1992 graduates of Evanston Township High School. Congratulations. What an honor to share with your sister and twin sister.
It's incredible. Good stuff.
Probably history.
Yeah. Oxford Dictionary unveils its word of the year. Hopefully it doesn't make you too mad.
That's a hint. Bears fans braving the cold weather. Hot dog. Bears #1 inside the winner's circle. We'll have the latest giveaway coming up next. Were you out there? We'll check it out. Bears fans loving their team tonight. The coach and the free hot dogs, too. They lined up down the block and around the corner in the cold today to get a free hot dog at the Wiener Circle. Now, all of this thanks to the first-year head coach, Ben Johnson.
The Wiener Circle promised free food if he took off his shirt after a Bears win, and on Friday he did it. Everyone went nuts, including his players. So today the Wiener Circle has served up about 3,000 dogs.
Wow.
That's Ben Johnson for you. He's awesome. He's crazy. You never know what he's going to do next, and he did this for us.
We love a good sports team in this city, and the Bears are the definition of a good sports team.
This guy's great. Is that him? The Bears' record 9-3. They play the Green Bay Packers on the road up in Lambeau this weekend. That weather forecast is going to have to be brutal. Lambeau?
It's not great. No. Once the front comes through, I mean, it's sub-zero wind chills for sure.
Really? And the game's like at 3:30.
Yeah, it's still not going to be super ideal.
And then later in December, the Pack comes here, December 20th. That's a Saturday night game.
Night game. They just
NFL
pivoted.
Just
going to be
announced that.
exciting.
I'm guessing 50s.
I can't wait. All right, not. Turn it around, 05. All right, the next Avatar movie, it's about to soar onto the big screen.
George Pinocchio takes us to last night's world premiere of Avatar: Fire and Ash.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
We meet the villainous Varong in Avatar: Fire and Ash, played by Una Chaplin.
If she had some support and maybe somebody gave her a hug, she might be she might be not so bad.
There's new trouble in Pandora with the introduction of an aggressive new tribe. Things will get tough as this new chapter plays out. This time, as Zoe Saldana points out, with more female characters in the middle of it all.
James Cameron doubles down and is never afraid to cast great people in his projects, regardless of their race or gender, and that we are all in Pandora trying to tell an amazing story.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
It ripples in, but it ripples in like a wave and knocks everybody flying. And I think that's what we wanted the audience to do, that we kind of just drop them in and they're familiar with these characters, familiar with the story, but then Jim just ramps it up.
Jim is director James Cameron.
Are you able to go in and watch your movie as a regular moviegoer?
It's a big question. It's interesting. You know, I would say up until before I started mixing the movie, I could still cry in the scenes where you're supposed to cry. And there are about 5 of them in this film, by the way.
It resonates very much with what's going on in the world now. It's a difficult, challenging time, and there's a lot of heartbreak.
And plenty of action to go with it.
Expect the unexpected, because what you think is going to happen is not going to happen, and everything is just going to go pretty bonkers.
And then there's the man who composed the score for this more than 3-hour movie.
I did say at some point I have run out of notes. I have written 1,904 pages of music for this film.
Avatar: Fire and Ash will be in theaters December 19th. In Hollywood, George Pinocchio for ABC News.
George, thanks. Oxford's word of the year is rage bait. You know the feeling when you get to reading something online that appears to purposely incite anger, get a big reaction. More than 10,000 people voted for it. It's sometimes hard, guys. Sometimes hard.
I don't like that that's the word of the year.
There have been some weird ones. The other one was 6, 7.
I don't like
yeah.
We don't like it.
But they got it on the news.
That's right. Bye.